Hey everyone, welcome to the Total Package, Rise of the Introverts. We all know being shut in is no fun. So tonight we're talking about how we are coping with social distancing. We have all these lovely ladies you see in front of you and Anna in the background. Hey guys, how are we doing tonight?
Hello, hello.
I'm stable.
Hey
We're here.
guys.
Can I give you in front of me?
No.
Oh, a doggy.
It's a puppy.
Yeah,
I
I'm at
love
least stable. So
Stable. Stable's good. That's a good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
Still alive. Still
No
breathing.
whammies, no whammies.
Right.
So what's everybody doing with their time?
I'm
I'm working.
You're working. Yeah.
I'm working.
I'm not masturbating. So
Wait, you're not,
por-
or you're not?
I'm not.
Pornhub is giving all their premium stuff for free, so
I haven't
they're
hit that
making sure
point
that there's not the influx of children.
Oh yeah. Let's make sure we don't do that.
Getting plenty of vitamin D.
Oh, I mean, since everybody's home, there's no real need for
Why not?
masturbation.
I dress up like Teletubbies.
Ooh.
Excuse me, what?
I was about to say, I was like,
And which one?
So who's guilty of buying into the toilet paper fiasco?
Oh, I can't. I missed that train. And once that started, every single shelf empty. I couldn't.
it's gone.
No,
I
been
was
gone.
lucky. I went ahead and stocked up the week before, and I got a 24
I have
pack that will last
contraband.
me.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Jesus Christ.
Where'd you get that?
Actually, it was off of Amazon. I literally was out of toilet paper, and I'm like, "Oh, look, Amazon has a pack of 24." Okay, done.
Yeah,
I
good.
now have toilet paper.
That's good. I mean, we still have toilet paper, but I just ever since this whole thing started, I've never been able to find it.
No.
Ever.
Nope. I actually had to go to Amazon for it.
JD's mom needed paper towels, and by the time we made it to the store, after all of the craziness, the signs were up in Target that said one per customer.
Oh, I know.
And there was 4 rolls of paper towels on the shelves, and that was it. Nothing. No other paper products in the whole fucking store.
They even took the wipes.
Yeah,
they did.
The Cottonelle wipes. They even
and
took
the baby
those.
wipes.
And baby wipes.
And baby wipes.
Ah,
Yeah, my sister had to I had to go online and order baby wipes for my sister because she couldn't have any for her baby.
oh,
Do you know how to make them?
Find any.
Do you know how to make them?
Yeah, I know how to make them. She's not one of those type of people that would actually remember to wash them and stuff. So
Well, no, you can make them with paper towels.
Yeah, you got to find paper towels first.
Right.
Yeah.
there you go.
True. It's easier to find the paper towels than it is the baby wipes, though.
Yeah.
Dude, JD and I did not believe that all this was that serious about a week and a half ago, and we're like, whatever, until we made it to Target and we walked in the door, and it was late at night, and this was the same time his mom asked if we could grab her paper towels. As soon as we walked in the door, there's a lady with paper towels stacked in her cart, and everybody's kind of staring at her like, what's this bitch doing? We better get her towels, everybody's looking at her like they're gonna jump her and shit. This old little old lady. No.
Wow.
At least one of the good things that they're doing is those people who had hoarded it and trying to upsell it, that they're all getting in trouble.
That's so
All
shitty.
that stuff. Yeah.
You,
Well,
you really
apparently-
are a shitty person if you try to resell it in a crisis like this. That is,
Yeah,
Well,
like the guy with the 17,000 bottles of hand sanitizer.
yeah. And then when they went, no, you're not doing that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, Costco is not allowing anyone to return paper towels, toilet paper, hand sanitizer, stuff like that
Yeah.
that they hoarded.
Now.
They're like, we're not going to accept it as a refund, and usually Costco will accept anything back as a refund.
No store
yeah.
is right now. They're not nothing. They're not allowed to return anything.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
I found out that's the ban or whatnot because I bought a couple
Yeah.
extra things here and there that I could find in case someone I knew needed something of that nature.
Mhm.
But luckily, only one person from work needed toilet paper, so I had managed to grab him a 6-pack and said, "Here, pay me back later" or whatnot from it, because it was bad. And then all these people were like, "I don't have anything." It's like, if I find it, I'll grab it for you just in case type situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a
You hear
distillery.
Jason burping in the background, don't you? That's like, I knew it. I knew it.
Is that a bear?
It sounded like some sort of monster.
That would be my husband. Well, apparently there's a distillery up somewhere in Pennsylvania that they make vodka, and they've stopped doing vodka, and they're now making hand sanitizer.
It's actually not too
Oh,
far from
yeah.
here, Jan.
Yeah.
There was
I mean, they say like the main part of
here
hand
at the-
sanitizer is alcohol.
Mhm.
It's not
Yeah.
that hard to do.
No.
Yeah, they're distilling their own
Strong
alcohol.
vodka. Mm.
You just got to make sure that you get the mixture right. But vodka
Mhm.
could sanitize as well.
Yes.
Just
What
like
you're
sanitize
saying-
the inside.
Yeah, what you're
Yeah.
saying is I have to drink. Okay.
no.
Guess I'll have to for the greater good. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yes, it's sanitizing the inside. Let's get it
Right.
that way versus
Right.
whatever it was that the one person drank all those poisons to try to clean themselves inside.
Oh my God.
People
Oh.
They
drinking
killed
bleach.
themselves. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
gross,
Oh
man.
my
Like, what the fuck, people?
That reminds me of
Seriously,
my-
drinking bleach?
Mm.
Well, it's
I-
paranoia is extreme. People are worried and they hear things, and it's unfortunate that people believe these things. And it's just, you would think that they would know, but they just don't. They just don't.
So
It's the same dumbasses who ate Tide Pods.
right. Right.
No, those are
Well,
the ones that are not
no,
here
the
any
Tide
longer.
Pods knew what they were doing. They were
Right,
doing it
right.
for attention. That's the problem. They just were. They were thinking it can't be that bad. I can't get that sick off of it.
So
Same thing when people were doing bath salts. That was another one that was.
ridiculous.
I remember when they were going out and smoking gypsum weed. I mean, that when that was the thing.
There's a lot of things that, like banana peels. Do you remember whenever people were smoking dry banana peels? I remember when that went around.
No, I've
Oh,
never.
why?
Trying to catch a buzz.
Catnip.
People are dumb.
Catnip. People thought they could smoke catnip and get high.
How about
Did they get a little
Hold
nip?
on.
how about alcohol-filled tampons or gummy bears or whatever?
Shoving
and
them
put
up your ass?
What?
Yeah.
or vagina, depending on.
I never thought about doing that. What?
Get into the bloodstream faster.
I have
Mhm.
to say that as a nurse, I have had
I'm
our
sure.
patients that are alcoholic that can no longer drink it this way, that drink it the other way,
Correct, because they need to
Oh,
get
yeah.
their equivalent of just being high drunk.
and then they
ruin
die
it this way. Yeah,
because
Mhm.
they've overdosed.
correct.
I knew you could do it anally. I didn't know you could do it vaginally.
Yep.
Mhm.
did
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's all this like
They
same.
say any hole is the goal.
Here.
I think that's so. Oh, I need to. I'm making that into a sticker. I hope you know.
Do it. Do it.
Any goal's a hole. Any hole's a goal.
That's
Was a
actually
goal.
I'll give credit where credit due. That's from Aquaria. She did that when she was playing Melania Trump on Snatch Game on RuPaul's Drag Race. It's like any
Oh,
goal
yeah.
is a hole.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
That's funny.
I'm
That's awesome.
doing that. Oh, I love that. That's so
Mhm.
great.
Yeah.
Would that happen with your ears too? Because I mean, you could just.
You could hope. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, as long as there's nothing
I'm gonna get
between
my
the
ear
ears.
drunk.
Well, if there's a will, there's a way. What is it? Rule 42 or whatever. Like, there's already Corona porn out there, like tons
No,
of it. Like,
Rule
and
43. It's Rule
43. That's it. 43.
If it
43.
exists, there's porn of it.
Yep.
But then it's, if it has it, then is it 43? That's the one that if it doesn't exist, someone's creating it. Type situation.
Wait, there's Corona porn.
Yeah, that's corona
yeah.
porn. It's not just it's so there's
Yeah.
it's like quarantine porn, but then there's also like the coronavirus like image
Porn.
and people making porn of that character.
I've seen people
Mhm.
do like
Doing
a
stuff.
Corona Chan, like a waifu.
Yes. Yes,
Corona.
corona
Oh
like that
my
character
God.
in
It's the
porn.
most racist shit ever because she has on a red dress from China. Like
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
why?
Well,
Why?
I saw the one guy where he's talking to his wife. It's him just talking to his wife like, "Oh, yeah, you oh, honey, you just put those jeans on. What you doing? You're putting your sweatpants back on. No, don't put the shorts back on. But you got some long hair there. You need to shave.
Yeah. That's
What's that guy's name? I
I
forget.
can't remember.
Oh god, I just had his name. It was like hold on. Ginger Billy, I think it is. I think it's called Ginger Billy. He's the one who talks about the vitamin D.
Yes. The
Yeah.
vitamin D. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. It's hysterical.
That actually was that's a joke with Jason and I were like, so wanna get some vitamin D?
Oh, you take vitamins for that?
Yeah.
Oh, fine.
Fine. I'm out of here.
Here.
On this snack whore, he's like, oh, you snack whore. It's like, you want to go get your vitamins on?
Vitamin D?
Okay.
Okay. Oh, let's go. You really have to check this video out. It's actually pretty funny.
I think I posted it in the chat.
I'll go through. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or you pull it up?
Huh?
No.
Huh? What?
What?
Did you pull it up?
What? No.
I don't know
sorry,
if I
was trying
can
to-
pull.
Well, what is it that you need? I'm trying to
It's.
open a second screen.
I think it was the Ginger Billy or Ginger Billy that the video I posted. I think like a few days ago, of talking about like things that couples or husband and wives talk about during the coronavirus, during the quarantine.
Okay, I'll see if I can find it.
I think I put it in the chat.
If you can, I don't know if we can put it in the
Yeah.
chat. If you can put the link in the chat, that would be.
And then
probably
the other one was the guy who dresses up as his wife,
yeah.
talking about that one was a good one.
So we've been entertaining ourselves with videos, humorous
Yeah.
memes, GIFs,
Mhm.
Facebook. What else? What else are we
Reddit.
entertaining ourselves with?
I've-
Reddit. Okay.
Reddit's an interesting place to delve because I'm also one of those people that have morbid curiosity. So
Mhm.
I find certain pages where I'm just like utterly disgusted, but I'm just like, okay, but how?
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like delve deeper into this rabbit hole, and I'm like, I find myself like just browsing for hours, and I'm just like, oh, okay, that killed some great time, you know?
Oh yeah.
Didi and I have been watching, like 80s movies that we haven't seen in a long time. Like Enemy Mine. We watched that one the other night. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. That's probably one of my favorite old school sci-fi movies. It's pretty awesome.
Okay, I just posted it to the chat if you want to put it to the peeps.
Cool.
Sorry.
Or the beeps.
And let me see what else. The Police Academy movies. We've been running through.
Oh my
the Police
gosh, I
Academy.
love the Police Academy. Motormouth Jones is my favorite.
I love Monroe Jones. He's awesome. Yeah. They all have like their significance though, as far as humor and just being really great characters. I forgot how much I love those movies. Like it took me back to almost like weekends at home or summer vacation when I was a kid and watching that shit on like PBS, where like I forgot they actually swear in those movies because they like dub over that when you're watching it on cable when you're a little kid. You know, you don't realize that they actually say fuck or other things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Now I make no promises on this, so we'll give it one shot. If it doesn't, then we'll give up on it.
Audio.
Yeah.
No audio.
No audio?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Okay, I just
well,
posted it on the YouTube chat.
no worries. But we can always try it another time.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. It's just one more thing for people to entertain themselves with, I guess.
Sorry, continue on.
We were just talking about entertaining ourselves. Anybody have any specific things?
Got back into playing the Switch.
I've been
Mhm.
making masks and for first responders and going out and doing visits as a nurse and stuff like that. So I've been more just kind of like doing my thing.
I've heard that Joanne Fabrics, they're actually I think they're giving away some like free samples or fabric for people
Yeah.
who are
Mhm.
making face masks.
Mhm.
So I don't know if there's one close to you.
There's
That's cool.
actually there's not any Joanne Fabrics close to me anymore. The one just
Aw.
shut down.
Mm.
Yeah, and ours is
sucks.
like an hour and 45 minutes away in Chesapeake, Virginia. So I'm just kind of doing with what I have
Yeah.
until I could get back to work and get more fabric.
I feel like the hardest part would be the elastic.
That's
Mhm.
the hardest part. So we've been using hair ties.
I was going to say
Yeah.
bra straps, but no. I'm sorry.
Oh, have you been
Dollar
seeing like
Tree.
how they've been making masks out of bras?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mine
Yeah,
are
it's
way
like-
too big. Like you could put your whole face.
I know.
Yeah,
I
that's what
like
it
tried,
teased
I
when
was like,
someone
nope.
did the full face on it and whatnot.
Yeah,
from
no,
it.
That would be me.
My bras are like big enough that you could put your whole face in it. There's no way that like
Me
it
too.
would work, but I wouldn't be able to see. I'd have to be like I saw where somebody put a mask on their cat and cut out the eye.
Yeah, that cracked me up.
Yeah. Well, like
Jimmy's
doing
mom
anything,
shared that too.
that's I think that's almost just in panic because everyone's been doing such not to go on a sore subject, but like all the animals that keep getting dropped off and things of that nature, they're just fearful for their own animals because of whatever reaction people have. I mean, right now shelters are getting bombarded with dogs and cats and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Because they
Which
have
I
these
don't
fears.
understand. I really don't.
They're your
That's usually
family.
it's the easiest scapegoat for a lot of people. I knew it immediately when I saw some of the stuff that was happening originally in China, and I was like, that's as soon as it hits America, of similar nature is going to happen. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
And it's,
Mhm.
Yeah, because people were scared because it originally started as a zoonotic from bats, and they thought, okay, this can be transferred to animals, but it's not. Once it goes into a human format, there's not very little chance that it's going to go back to animals.
Oh,
Yeah.
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
I'm not scared of my animals. They've been licking my face and like we've been rolling around in the bed. Chewy likes to wrestle. Like she thinks that she's this big bad bitch. So she'll get up on the bed and she'll like kind of like hop at you. And then like you'll grab a hold of her or something and she'll like flop around on her back and try to kick you with her back legs. And it's like this whole wrestling thing that happens then. And I get to pin her and be like, I win, bitch. I win.
That's cute.
Jason does that with Magnus.
Abby's been running around the house and she's insistent on being up on my shoulder lately. So like today when I got home from my last visit, she gets up on my shoulder and lays down. I'm like, dude, I need a shower. Social distancing. You're not following the rules here.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Here, look at my butt.
I will say that like I haven't even bothered with the gloves and the mask stuff though. Like I'm not.
I don't
I'll
have
do the
that.
extra, the washing the hands and all
Yeah.
that stuff. I'll do more of like a
Absolutely.
wipe down and
Mhm.
whatnot from it. But I mean, I've been lucky in comparison to some that in terms of I'm not really seeing people who are immuno issues
Compromised,
or
yeah.
compromised or elderly or things of that nature because I'm literally just home currently. But I know there's a lot of people who are in that situation, so it is a tough decision on what can you do, what can't you do, and all that type of stuff. I mean,
I've been to the grocery store. That's about as far into the public as I've been, and
same.
like
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people in the grocery store like. And I don't want to laugh at these people, but I kind of do at the same time because like they're wearing like food service gloves that are 14 times too big for them, wandering around trying to like grocery
Pick
shop
up
and
stuff.
function.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at these people like you're not saving yourself.
No, and I mean,
If anything,
there was-
you're making it worse because you're dropping the germs in between the skin and your hands.
Yeah.
the gloves
Right.
are too big.
you're keeping
Yeah.
it in and whatnot from it. It's supposed to be just if you have it, you're supposed to. But then there's some people, like there was one when we went to Costco and I was trying to signal to Gort, but there was a guy who had a full-on mask. And I was kind of like, I really hope like he's one of those like doctors or something of that nature that's out and doing this in particular because that's a little extreme. Like he had a full-on mask around the face and then had goggles on the eyes and he was covered head to toe in it and everything. And it was like
I've
he was
seen
in
those
that
too.
hazmat suit. And I was just
But
like,
here's the thing: if he's immunocompromised, say he has cancer, and he's doing what he can to stay away from the germ,
everything.
because I mean, if he's immunocompromised, I can see why he's doing that. But if you have a regular immune system, you should be fairly okay.
Mhm.
I mean,
Mhm.
wash your hands, use hand sanitizer, that kind of stuff. But like in my job, I actually go into people's houses.
Mhm.
I literally go in, take care of the old people, or anybody that needs help, anybody that needs wound care. So they're immunocompromised. So I wear gloves. I wear,
Right.
I wear the masks and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I come home between patients and take a shower and go back out.
Right.
We're taking it seriously, but at the same time, like not enough people are taking it seriously. They're like out having parties and stuff at the
Mhm.
local.
Yeah.
Spring breakers.
Yeah,
I
like
feel like
Kids that went down to Florida spring break.
Well, the one girl that was in the videos, she actually caught it.
Mhm.
And then she was all like, well, I hope the person who was interviewing me caught it from me and things of that nature. Like, because a lot of them did get sick and caught the
Whatever.
coronavirus.
Oh my
while they were down
God.
there. These kids
Mhm.
are crazy. They're
They
just
are
so
crazy.
Stupid.
insane. I don't even know what's wrong with them.
I mean, here we are back to that same place where it's like it's either one way so white or one way so black. There's no gray in the middle. Like there's no like let's
Mhm.
just be logical, let's just be sensible. It's let's be crazy this way or let's be crazy that way. There's no like come on, let's meet in the middle here. We know there's an issue. Let's just follow some rules here. Make sure that no one gets too sick.
Mhm.
If you're really that concerned about it, make sure you are going home and showering, gargling with salt water or some sort of like warm whatever,
Mhm.
like lemon juice or something that's going to like clean out your throat, make sure that the germs do come out. We've all had strep throat. We all know how
Mhm.
this works.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let's just be
Mhm.
I mean, let's be realistic here. None of us are stupid, but people are being stupid
No, they're
because
being
they're
stupid.
thinking mass hysteria.
Well, there's also the one lady who went into the grocery store and coughed on everything on purpose, and they said,
Yeah.
"I have the coronavirus," and then it was $35,000 worth of food that had to be thrown out, and they had to
Oh
take
my
it seriously
gosh.
and all that. Whether or not she was just joking to do it, and now she's going to be treated, which she should have treated with terrorism because it's biological
Biological
terrorism
She
or
should have been,
whatever.
but like that's no
And it's-
I
different
hope
than
so.
There was it was a guy that did it too. He went into
Yeah.
Walmart and started messing with everybody and said he had the coronavirus and he was charged with terrorism.
yeah. But see,
They
then you
should
go
be.
back to like these same psychopaths who months ago that woman walked into a freaking grocery store and pissed all over the potatoes. Like these are people that should just sort of like be shipped to an island and left to fend for themselves.
Or lick the
I
ice
like
cream.
that idea.
The lick,
Oh
did
my
you
God,
see
the
the
ice
lick the ice cream?
Ice cream,
The
yeah.
gargling the mouthwash and spinning it back in.
Yeah,
Now these people
yeah.
said they went back. Well, at least the mouthwash guy said he actually bought it, and he did it for a video, but he actually bought it and had the receipt and stuff.
That's still
He just
stupid.
wanted the attention, but that only encourages people to do stupid things.
Right.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, you're doing it for the attention. He's like, I didn't actually do it. I bought it. But it was like, you still posted the video and kids are going to see this and then they're going to want to see if they can
They're
get
gonna
away with
do it.
too.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to have to open my ice cream and see if someone touched it. Like,
Yeah, no,
They're
I'm
gonna
not.
have to start sealing it like they do everything else.
yeah.
Right.
Well, most of them do seal it. There's only a select few that don't, but you can tell like if
Right.
they're
Yeah.
not.
Well, that's just like Riddler Circle just said something about people licking toilet seats on TikTok or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's
Like,
stupid.
that's just the dumbest. Like, I wouldn't lick
Yeah.
a toilet. You give me
Oh.
a million. You'd be like, "Here's $1 million if you
I
lick that
bet
toilet seat."
she
I'd be like, you
wiped
can
it
stick
down
$1 million
and all
Sorry,
that
yeah.
stuff first. Like she
Oh.
wiped it and it sanitized.
Oh.
I'm sure
I
it was
don't
fine because it's her
care.
home total. But it's,
Do
once
you
again,
know-
it's getting the attention.
I was gonna say, you know what touches that, right?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yeah,
How many
mm,
asses have been on that? Mm.
mm.
It looked like it wasn't a public one, like it was just her home one that she just
Yeah, but
decided
she
to-
wasn't the only
Still.
one. There are others.
I mean,
But
it's
it's
not
like
just
a
got there.
challenge now.
Yes,
These
exactly.
kids are doing like the toilet, like licking knobs and licking, and not that kind of knob either, like doorknobs.
You can't show the other style knobs that goes on the Pornhub
Yeah.
free website.
Right,
So-
right. So it's like
Swallow that
the new challenge is to lick things that could potentially have the coronavirus on them. Things
Oh,
that
Why? To what end?
because
I
kids
am
are
not
fucking
thinking ahead.
stupid. That's why.
I work with kids that are snotty and coughing, all of that, and
You can
I don't
lick one
want
of
to
them.
touch them. I get
can lick
coughed
one of
on,
them.
I get sneezed on, and I'm just no. I don't want to go.
You
in
might as
the-
well wear a hazmat suit, lady. You might as
And-
well. Ugh.
And there lies the Teletubby that I was talking about.
Wait, really? Okay, so then what is that?
It's a hazmat suit. Is what
Is
I
it
was talking
hazmat
about.
suit?
Yeah, it's a hazmat suit.
What color?
We actually
blue.
have
Or yellow,
Because-
or
well,
Depending what color.
As of right now, I have schools have all been closed for the year, but I work with a lot of medically fragile students, so a lot of them have nurses. And because of having the nurses supervisor has to come in and do the whole checking out all their paperwork and all of, checking out the student and stuff to make sure everything is lining up. And we had one, it was right before our schools were initially closed for the first phase. And she was coming in and she's like, I have masks, I have gloves, I have booties that I put on my shoes, because she's like, I'm going into houses with kids with such compromised immune systems that I don't want to possibly drag anything in if I don't have to. She's like, I've got wipes, I wipe down my bags, I wipe everything down.
Right. Yeah.
Going into homes, that's one of the things we do is we wipe down our bags. I've changed shoes, that kind of stuff. So like I have a couple of Crocs or what? Well, they're not Crocs. They're expensive kind, but
right. Yeah. Right.
the
Loafers.
expensive ones. The loafers. They're comfortable.
Pretty white
If you ever
loafers.
get a chance? No, I don't wear the white loafers.
Oh, okay.
I have mermaid colored ones.
Oh, very nice.
They're very
Oh.
they're mirrory. So like the sun hits them and they splatter
Shimmer.
color. Yeah.
Oh, hollow. Are they hollow?
Are they
Are
hollow?
you a holosexual?
Glittery stuff like that has the
Yes, I love
iridescent
that
type
stuff.
film.
Yeah.
The iridescent.
But I love that
You,
kind of
only
stuff. Come on,
only
you know
certain
me.
people would
Come
get
on,
my
yeah.
reference of holosexual.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, Hollow really came into it with nails. That Simply Nail Logical was the one who really brought it into the forefront.
Yep.
Oh, so Anna just said, "What does everybody do for stay-at-home fun?"
Sleep.
Video games.
Video games.
Video games.
I've been playing a lot of Fortnite. A lot of, because the children are playing since they have nothing to do, so I make them cry by beating them.
Talked about that.
Yes.
I'm
Other than
terrible at video games. Let's see. I played Halo, and I got stuck in a corner one time, and I was literally going.
I'm so sorry. It's
No,
fun, though.
I can play like.
Button masher.
Yeah, I'm a button masher. I can. I can do things like, Lara Croft. I did that one, and Assassin's Creed, but not really. Yeah.
You would like Borderlands. You should play some Borderlands. That's a good game.
Or if you want to
If I
release
get
some
stuck in a
stress,
corner, it won't be.
if you want to release some stress and you want a little bit more of a challenge, Doom.
Ooh.
Material just came out.
Yes.
I haven't played it yet myself, but Max has been like playing the hell out of it. It's fun to watch.
Mhm.
It's fun.
We've gone down the YouTube rabbit hole too.
I don't.
We've been watching a lot of fives. It's called fives. Top 5, whatever. It's the channel called
okay.
Fives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've been watching a lot of that.
I watch Let's Players. So there's Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, just name a couple. And they've been playing these other games. There's also I've been watching them start to play Animal Crossing, the newest one. I actually want it now, but I don't have $60. So
That's
I
the
remember
quarantine
playing-
game to play right now is Animal Crossing.
I remember playing Animal Crossing on the Nintendo Cube.
Oh my god.
right.
That's an old one.
I remember playing the Cube, playing Animal Crossing on that.
The good old GameCube, baby. Yeah.
I still have mine too. I've never given up that console. I love that console so much.
I still have my 2600 attached to a TV.
Sweet. That's awesome.
It's actually right in front of me. I could just flip it on right now and just.
That's cool. JD's been playing Final Fantasies, like different ones. He tried so on PlayStation you can get the demo for the remake for 7 right now.
Nice.
And he played through the demo. It looks so good, and it just seems like it's going to be a really amazing game. He kind of is kicking himself because he didn't pre-order it, and he really wants it now that he played through the demo. But he's been playing through 9, and he's started buzzing through 10, and of course 7's always loaded. But he loves the Final Fantasy, so I watch him do that. But the music makes me fall asleep. Final Fantasy music makes me I don't know what it is about it. It's like it's
It's
calming.
very
relaxing.
calming and lulling. Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
lullaby.
So I fall asleep to that. But we've been. Marissa likes the Borderlands 3 game. She got him into it about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. So before she moved home, we were playing with her on the weekends. She'd want us all to load in live, and now that she moved home, we'll play Borderlands with her until she like she'll fall asleep, and you can tell because she'll just be standing there, kind of like drifting. I'll be on one TV, JD will be another,
Do
and
the side shuffle.
yeah. So we'll watch her do that, and then we're like, "Are you asleep, Sissy? Are you awake?" And then finally she'll go like wake her up, get her to bed, kind of stuff. But I decided to charter school her through the end of the year since she moved in at the tail end of the year anyway. So it was like 2 weeks before all this shit hit the fan. I already had her registered for homeschooling charter school stuff, and so she's actually loving it. Like she really likes it. Loretta keeps going sideways. Hi, Loretta.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay. We're just being silly.
I was trying to close
Just laughing.
the pop-up window came up. I'm like, what the heck?
You remind me of that. What was that meme of the photos of where the guy is taking family portraits, so he turns the camera and the kids all go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah, but so she's been loving that because I think she just kind of thrives as a homeschooled type of person. And she's at the tail end of 9th grade, and they do like virtual classroom stuff early in the day. And then she has the afternoon to finish up any classwork or coursework that she has. And she usually wraps that shit up within like 3 hours, 4 hours. So
Nice.
school isn't, it's a cakewalk for her right now. She's loving every second of this. She's like, oh, yep, school was 4 hours today. Kick ass. I can watch movies and play video games all day.
Yeah,
So
nice.
she's like living in her
Wow.
pajamas going to school, and I'm like, God damn it.
Why didn't they have this when we were kids?
I know.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And other than that, JD and I have been working on dioramas.
Ooh.
That looks awesome.
Shall I show what we've been working on?
Yes.
Sure.
Oh, please take us on an adventure.
Yeah. Those of you know that my husband and I do prop making. So I'm taking you into the hole in the ground layer.
Mm-hmm.
So
They have really cool stuff.
So on the CR10 we have parts going for a diorama that is
3D
over
printer.
here.
Very nice.
See
Ooh,
that?
Can you like zoom in a little closer to that? Just a smidge. Can you get? Ooh.
Ooh.
Very
That's
pretty.
really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, now I got to figure out how to do that. Okay, there we go. So
looks really good.
that's the Death Star.
Ah.
So and then we have the 3D. We have a
Resin.
Form Labs too.
The
Down-
resin printer. Yeah.
Yeah, the resin printer.
Very cool.
Yes, and then we have the other new one that we're working on. This is Eric's own. So he's actually been working on the Star Tours.
Wow.
Ooh.
Man, I love you guys' setup. It's so cool. I can't wait to come. Like when this is all over, we're coming over. We're gonna hang out for a couple hours, and we're gonna learn some things.
Yeah,
That's
that's
cute.
where we do the resin casting and stuff like that. And then I've got my vinyl printer back there.
Very cool. Very cool. You must teach us, oh master.
We will. Get them over.
Yes, please. Oh my God, yes.
Oh, trust me, we'll make the trip up.
Yeah.
It's not
Definitely.
that long of a trip.
Pennsylvania
some-
so far.
Throw some
Okay,
tents in
we'll
your
bring all our
yard.
tents and come camping in the backyard.
Yeah.
Practice my Girl Scout. Well, I'll unearth my Girl Scout skills. There you go.
There you go.
Try to remember things.
No, that's why
telling
we
you.
have Jason. That's why we have Jason. He knows he could pretty much live in the woods with just a knife if he wanted to.
Yeah,
Well,
but
we
you
have
gotta let the
woods.
ladies do what they know how to do. Come on now.
I've got woods.
Glamping.
I can make fires. We can have all sorts of fun out here. I've got a 6-car garage. You know,
Pretty cool. Looks like you've got a lot to keep you busy. You're lucky. That's cool. Even though I know you're working right now, but if it ever comes to the point where you are home,
You got a wife with leaves.
as long as they're the right leaves, don't pick the wrong leaves.
Yeah, don't
Not-
pick the glossy ones. Don't that have like 3 on the stem. Don't
leaves
do that
the
one.
tree, let them be. Leaves the tree, let
Not
them be.
shiny.
Or 5, or 7. There's different ones. You got
There's
different
different ones. And then there's a poison sumac, which you get up against the tree and start rubbing, and you'd be like, "Ooh, that's a little
Oh,
bit."
be
much."
careful of the trees too, because poison ivy can do that too. It can like crawl. They call them monkey tails where I live.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's the same, but yeah, it's poison ivy. And we had that in our backyard last year. It was terrifying. We had to like carefully chop it down too.
Oh, gross.
Eric and
was,
I've been trying to get rid of all of it. So like we've been like chopping it and trying to get rid of it, and he's really allergic to it.
Mhm. Oh, there's this I forgot
just
what it's
don't
called.
burn it. I've heard if you burn it, it makes it worse.
Yeah, you
It makes
can't.
it worse.
Yeah.
And then you
You
can
don't
get
want
it
to
in your
deal with
lungs.
that.
Mhm.
No, God no. But I've heard that if you do get poison ivy or oak or sumac or whatever, there's this my parents got it online. And it's like $50 for like this little bottle, but it 100% works all the time. What it does, I think it actually like reacts with the oil, and it destroys it, and you're cured within like an hour or hours.
Please tell me what that is, because
Yeah, I'll find it. I'll put it in the
I
chat
need a
later.
swimming pool of it.
Yeah. And like I've seen pictures online, and my parents even use it because my mom, my sister, they got destroyed by it. Like they got blisters on their skin. It was
Yeah.
that bad.
Shumac's
Everybody's
really
like-
bad though. Shumac's terrible. Like,
Mm.
Eric bubbles up the whole, like he got it on his arms the one time, and he was actually wearing my maxi pads on the inside of his arms wrapped up because it was so bad.
yeah.
Oh.
It was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Bleach did not work for that. Bleach did not work for that, by the way, Master.
No,
Skinny.
it doesn't necessarily. I thought I was immune to it too until I power washed at my dad's house with Wayne the one day. Wayne was my dad's neighbor, and we had downtime from work. It was like some holiday during the summer, and most of the time during holidays, people don't want home repairs done; they want it done beforehand. So we went up to my dad's to power wash the outside of his place as a favor to him. And he had poison ivy that was growing all underneath his porch. And when that power washer hit underneath the porch, it shredded and liquefied all of the poison ivy, and it like backsplashed up onto me and all over my hands, and it was freaking terrible.
Kitty,
Ugh.
kitty.
God.
Kitty's is like, Kitty's like, nope. Kitty's like, nope,
No,
not happening.
Playing with something.
He's been
Oh.
flipping upside down. Okay,
You found something.
you're not hiding under there.
No, we
You're
can
too
still
big for
see
that.
you.
Anybody else have anything in particular they're doing at home?
Yes, I'll go. There's a bunch of stuff that I've been doing. Well, mostly just laying around doing nothing. As I said, I play Fortnite. I've been doing a lot of Instagram and things of that nature. But with my Instagrams, I do follow a lot of drag queens, which I'll talk about in a second. But B, I follow a lot of people who do small business and conventions and things of that nature. And God, it's so tempting because some people are putting much stuff on sale because they need the income because conventions are closed.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to support what I can, but I can't go crazy and ham on buying stuff. So one of the things that I bought was this place called TLT Cup, and they do really cute enamel pens, Sailor Moon ones. So I'll see if I can try to show. Hopefully this clears up.
Oh,
a little.
yeah.
So
Oh,
they do these
that's so
little
cute.
fat versions. So that's Luna and Artemis, and then there's like a sparkle of Rini, or I don't know, like the
Oh,
Oh,
that
that's
one.
cute.
So Fat and
And
cute.
then-
I love them.
This one she does of the black lady and has the little toy that she does. It looks like Luna. And then the Charmander, fat Charmander,
Oh my god, I love it.
and all that stuff.
It's so cute.
So yeah, I've been looking at all that stuff, kind of keeping an eye on what it, trying to support where I can, if I can. So that's something that I think that Casper being a small business also with it, it's kind of hard. You want to support, but of course there's also the lack of job or not working as much, so you don't get the overtime and whatnot. So it's kind of like a mix.
Yeah.
Another section that's been hit really hard from the quarantine has been drag queens. So a lot of these drag queens have been doing online shows. And so last Friday they put on a 4-hour online show. This one, so on Netflix there's a show called Dragula by the Boulet brothers, and so it is like RuPaul's Drag Race, but except it's like weird freaks and things of that nature. So you can watch it. It's really funny. It's interesting. It's different. They do a lot of gross stuff. It's filth, horror, and glamour is their tagline for it. So they'll do disgusting stuff. They'll throw up on stage. They'll mimic like period blood and all that stuff. So they go like and stuff of that nature. So they're very like the grotesque of women and things of that nature. But anyway, so the winner of season 2, spoiler alert, is Bitch Pudding. So he put out, or she, I don't know, a drag show last week. And so I want to show one of the performers. It's Bora, who I liked from season 2. I'm going to put it on the stream. They dressed up as the coronavirus.
Oh my god.
Wow. They dressed up and they sang to Bjork's "I'm a Virus," I think is what she did, like a song. And so she did like a whole green screen body thing. So his like head was like floating around in like virus type things. But he performs on. They did it on Twitch, so anyone could technically watch. But if anyone could donate, they took in the money, and anyone who had performed, they would, I guess, split the money between all the performers. And so what's really cool is that not just them, a lot of other drag queens are also doing, like the RuPaul queens are all kind of going together and trying to put these performances up. And because they relied on people going out to the bars and
live shows.
Doing shows and all that stuff and getting that money.
Doing the brunches.
Exactly. And so it's another thing that, although, could be seen as extra and luxury and stuff. I mean, these were people who were dependent on this as income. And so it's a hit, especially when bars were like, no, cannot do. They were the first ones closed.
Right.
So,
Well, I belong to the 501st, and one of the things that we're having issues with is everybody's canceling all sorts of events, and that money that we raise for those kids hasn't been coming in, so they're really having issues. So what we've started doing is, I guess tonight they're doing a Fortnite thing where they're getting on and playing Fortnite, I guess, and raising money that way. And then there's one Saturday, somebody donated a bunch of materials and stuff like that. So we're all making masks and stuff. So it's actually a cool thing, but at the same time, it really hurts the kids financially because we would raise money for them.
Yeah,
it's a weird catch-22. I was saying this about someone saying, mortgages getting suspended, so that means rent should be suspended for people. But there's like a situation like my grandmother whose income is reliant on she owns a couple homes, like her and my grandfather when they was alive. They owned homes, and that was income that helps them supplement their lifestyle and things of that nature. Yeah. So it's like unfortunate. You understand, like they have hard times, but it's like then she needs the money coming in. It's not so much paying mortgage, but just the finances coming in, and it's kind of like it's kind of tough.
I think that there's a lot of that going on right now too, and I think that's why like we all do need to find a way to help each other, help support each other, hold each other up, neighbors helping neighbors, friends helping friends, whatever it is you got to do. It's that time, we are in that position. No, you don't have to be hysterical about it, but you can lend a helping hand, outreach, an arm, not necessarily to hug someone, but elbow bump or whatever the hell anybody's doing at this point. you know, but like it's important.
Virtual high five.
Virtual
Yeah.
and
Virtual
virtual
hugs.
Bring it in,
Virtual
bring it in. What about you, Loretta? What are you doing to keep busy?
I've been working on some sewing projects. I finished up a couple UFOs that I've had lying around. Finished up a hoodie and a handbag and coloring books. I found this really cool coloring book at work before I left. That's kind of like manga pop art. It's really, really cool. So
Yeah, me too. So someone gifted me.
Somebody got a present in the mail.
Yeah, somebody gave me the same one. Hang on, I'm gonna grab it because I'll show you what I put up on there.
Are you, Loretta? Are you taking any orders at this current time?
No, right now I'm just trying to get up the inventory that I have on my Facebook page. I'm gonna be photographing everything. Waiting for a nice sunny day, which I got some a little bit today, but probably tomorrow will be better. Just to be able to get some stuff up onto the Facebook page and have it available for people to buy there.
That's cool. That's a good idea. I think that's a nice way to spend your time too. Is getting that set prepped. I saw a post that you've been doing some cooking, but accidentally used a ghost pepper sausage in a delicious meal.
Yes.
What happened there?
Accidentally. I knew I was using the ghost pepper sausage, but I didn't realize how hot it was. So I used it was I got a local butcher near my parents' house back in Thanksgiving. It's been in the freezer, so I took it out and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use this stuff. So I pulled it out and it looks good. And I opened it up and it's links. And I used 2 small links. They're about this big. And I cut them open and I sauteed them. I'm like, oh, this smells really good. And I start putting everything in there. And I go to open the Instant Pot and it's like this waft of like heat comes out. And like I see a piece of potato. I'm like, oh my God, this is not going to be good.
So wait, what was it? What was it initially supposed to be? Like, what were you initially trying to like? What was the dish?
Well, I make this dish. It's cabbage and potatoes and an onion soup mix, and then I cut up the sausage and put it in and cook it and just like peasant style.
Right.
And I normally use like a kielbasa or an andouille sausage or something like that. But because I had this other sausage, I decided to use it. And it tasted fantastic, but man, that stuff was hot. I probably could have gotten away with using one or half of one of those sausages, and it would have been perfect.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Here's a book, by the way. And here's another cover. There you go.
That's awesome.
And then I also did this.
Very cool.
For like hours, but there you go.
Oh wow, that looks amazing.
Thank you.
Pretty.
Mine don't look that good. Mine don't look.
Yeah,
that
mine don't ever look that good.
I went kind of crazy with it because I've got since I'm of course artist. I got the Prismacolor. Here you go. I got the Prismacolor colored pencils, so they blend.
Yes.
Yeah. So I did here's the wing detail. I went crazy with that right there.
Very nice.
Wow.
I kind of want to do like a macabre type thing. So yeah.
What's the cover look like again? Can you show the cover again?
It's there you go.
Oh, very cool.
I use the Prisma too. I just never realized I could blend them.
Oh yeah, you gotta really work with them though. You have to really layer them. It's like painting. You have to really go over top of them, and then they start to blend for you. But then if you have any line work, you'll really lose that. So just be careful with it.
Okay.
But it's been fun. Thank you.
Coloring pages. That's one of the other things on that note that I've been seeing people post a lot. I posted it in our group, but it's people just posting coloring pages, knowing that, hey, let me just do some free art this way, and you can have some fun with it. Because once again, the community helping itself, keeping each other entertained, and things that's pretty cool.
That's cool. I like coloring. I don't do it very often anymore.
Oh, you should. It's fun. Definitely fun.
That's a good suggestion. It's a good idea.
Therapeutic.
Hours, yeah. On the cooking note, since Well, I wasn't sure what the bread situation was going to be for grocery stores, so I decided to make bread.
Ooh.
And oh yeah, it came out real well, like yeasty bread too. So I forgot how long it took, so I started about midnight. And I kept on mixing and mixing, and it's like, okay, let it proof for an hour. I'm like, all right, cool. So then, and my house is kind of cold, so I'm just like, I have to. If it's warmer, then the yeast will actually like make it rise faster. If it's colder, you have to wait a bit longer. So I've been like waiting like almost 2, 3 in the morning, and I still haven't gone to like the second stage of proofing. And I'm just like, okay, no, I'll just bake them tomorrow. But they came out just wonderful. And they're almost gone too. So like I made like 3 little loaves, and we're on to the last loaf already.
Just white bread.
Just white bread.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's an art form. Bread is so fun to mess with. That's fantastic.
It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. And that dough is like stretchy and pulley, and you just like have fun. Yeah. It looks like Play-Doh almost.
Tan, have you made the gluten-free one? Have you tried?
I haven't. No.
I haven't tried.
No. What were you saying, Grims?
I was gonna say, do you guys remember? I don't know if you guys did this as a kid. Ever do the friendship bread, where you would get the bread and then you would make it, but then after you would make some, you would have some left over, and you're supposed to hand it off to the next person, and then they and all that type of stuff.
Is that like a sourdough bread? Isn't that what that's supposed to be? Like,
it was kind of like more like a cinnamony or like a more kind of like a banana nuts, but not quite banana nut, but like something of that nature, more sweet style bread.
I remember that.
I meant like it's supposed to like it's like so they say like sourdough bread is like having a pet. So you keep it and you like it's always growing. It's you take it out of a dormant state and wake it up.
Like the yeast always does happen like that.
Yeah,
your starter.
It's like a starter. It's like having like a little yeast baby.
Yeah, I haven't done it myself. You have to like constantly feed it and constantly keep it alive.
But you can flavor it with other things.
I'd kill it.
I probably
Me too, probably.
I would probably kill it.
I'd forget about it.
It can go into it has to go into a dormant state, and then you wake it back up. Like it just lives in your fridge, kind of a thing. Yeah. I don't know. Like there's a whole art form with it, and I thought that was kind of like a friendship bread situation, because like you hand this living piece of like dough off to like the next person and the next person, because you can use like wheat flours and other things with sourdough bread, but I and flavor it any way you want to, but I thought that like starter was what friendship bread was, but I don't actually know. I've heard of it though. I have.
Would they be like giving somebody a yeast infection?
Gross.
That's gross.
I mean, you're handing off a ball.
Is that the friendship? Oh, okay.
I think that might be one of them. I don't know if that's one.
So they're.
But it looks like sugar, vanilla, cinnamon, baking powder. Like it's very simple, and you can add nuts. As I said, it's like more like a banana bread, but because I'm thinking the nuts and things of that nature.
Ooh, send that to me. I want to try that.
It's got this bread starter in it, which means it's like the sourdough thing.
Yeah.
Like you have to have that starter.
So how do you make the starter?
Crap! I remember. I know Bon Appetit has. They made their own sourdough, so they tell you how to make it, but it's a lot of work. You start with yeast, but then you have to periodically like come back and feed it with like sugar and flour and just like I think they just kept it in like a cupboard or something, but it's like
having a goldfish in your fridge.
Yeah.
The recipe actually has it. It says it has a link for the 1 cup of starter. It has a link on how to create the starter, so then you can do that as well. But I just always remember like you print out the instructions and then you hand it to your friends, and then now it's their project to handle and stuff like that.
I remember. Cool. I remember this. I think I had one that ended up in the fridge and then we threw it away.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever actually made it.
I did make it because it's very tasty because it's the cinnamon and the sweet and all that stuff. I put it in
vanilla pudding. Oh my god, vanilla pudding.
Ooh. I made chocolate pudding, and then my husband's like, "Why'd you make chocolate pudding? Because you don't eat chocolate."
It's for you to eat, so you get fat.
That moment, I wanted a bite of. I wanted chocolate pudding, so I
Right.
ate a bite of chocolate pudding, and I'm like, I'm done.
Actually
other
did something
thing-
really cool last night.
The other
So,
thing, Ems, is like since you made white bread, now you can make cinnamon rolls with that same dough.
Oh, I know. You can make anything with that. My mom actually wants me to make this sort of like stuffing type bread.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So she was like, "Oh, you just try to put all these ingredients in here and see how it goes." I'm like, "All right, I'll try." So you can basically do anything with it. Like this basic recipe, you can make any kind of bread. I could be your guinea pig if you want to. I could try the starter thing and see if it lives or fails. If you want?
Jan, we'd
Go
have to do
for
a
it.
gluten-free version.
Yeah, we'd have to give a gluten-free version a try. I'm
Yeah,
willing
I've
to
made
do
it.
it.
I've made Italian bread that's gluten-free.
Yeah, please do. I have no idea where to start with gluten free. I wouldn't know how.
Start with don't use gluten.
Yeah, there you
Well,
go.
that's
Basically,
that's-
I meant like recipe step by step.
but that's what's a little hard
Well-
about making bread because it's the gluten that makes it
Makes it-
fluffy and have like the
Yeah, it'll break
extra.
apart otherwise. Because
yeah, it's more of a biscuit without the gluten.
yeah.
Yeah.
How did you make those? I need to get that muffin recipe that you made for us. Those
Okay.
were so good.
Sure. I don't mind sharing. Yeah, we can
Oh,
do it.
God,
We can do a
especially-
recipe exchange. I love recipe exchanges. That sounds great with me.
I
love
have
that.
some really good ones. I made apple crisp the other day.
I wanted to do that actually. I have a recipe for apple cake that's like an apple crisp, but it's more like it's like a breakfast thing. I have to make
like
that
a coffee cake.
sort of,
brownie.
yeah, sort of.
Oh, and you made that monkey bread?
So years ago, my ex's sister, Marissa's aunt, made this apple cake, and it was like her grandmother's recipe, and nobody was sharing. And I was like, "Fine, I'll figure it out myself." so I like, I think I figured out my own version that's a little different. That has like almost like the crisp topping on the cake, but the apples are layered in the middle. It's like an apple pie cake crisp thing. But I can put that recipe together and send it to you guys too if you'd want to.
Yes,
don't know
please.
If you can see this, this is the best apple crisp recipe I've ever seen, and it's so easy. It's like a children's version.
Let me see if I can zoom her.
Yeah,
Hold on a
like
second.
make her big real quick. Yeah. So that's apples, flour.
That's really simple. Yeah.
Very simple. 350. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually very, very simple and very, very good.
Ooh, you get apples now.
Yeah. Which is like the only thing I've been able to find at grocery stores is like fresh vegetables and fresh fruits are loaded everywhere I've been. It's pretty awesome.
People have been going mad about potatoes though. Like every time I've been going to the grocery store, people have been like buying potatoes.
That's more
Potatoes are
sustainable.
almost scarce.
They last if you cover them right and take care of it, they can last like a month. So you could really just maximize
Yeah, I
on them
understand
and
it.
stuff in the nature.
Mine started growing on my counter, so I put them out in a basket. So I'm gonna plant them.
Ooh, awesome. Me too. Yeah, I'm getting prepared to plant stuff. Last frost day is April 30th. So I'm working on growing tomatoes, bell peppers, jalapenos, and other kinds of
Just
good
make
stuff.
sure your peppers and jalapenos
Fingers are apart.
they're separated because they will cross pollinate.
Well, the jalapenos will cross pollinate with a lot of shit, so you got to be careful.
And it gets hot.
Yeah.
It gets really hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah.
I didn't know. Oh my god.
yeah.
And
The
my God.
jalapenos need to be far away because they will cross pollinate with a lot of stuff.
Strawberries will too, so be
Yeah.
careful with strawberries also.
Oh, I gotta
We did that with bell peppers one time and banana peppers.
Ooh.
Those suckers were so hot we couldn't even eat them. It was
Oh my God.
insane. They were so hot.
Sounds like challenge accepted here over
Yeah.
here.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what to do now. I was gonna have them grow next to each other too.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Like
no.
I
No.
love to like
No.
burn the fuck out of my mouth. Like if I
Nice.
I'm like that too.
yeah, that's like
So the ghost pepper sausage and cabbage and potatoes, you'd have been all over that, huh?
Oh,
yeah, no, I would
totally.
too. Yeah.
I would have been so
That sounds
all over
like-
that.
That sounds like something Jason would have loved.
Like the ghost
Yeah.
pepper thing, the Try Guys just did this. There's like a ramen noodle place where they have like 6
Yeah.
levels.
Oh,
And, like,
I want to go
The
there.
first 3 levels are like okay, but level 4, 5, and 6 have ghost peppers, and it's like ghost peppers, fuck ton of ghost peppers, shit fuck ton of ghost peppers, and it's like there's a challenge, and they're just sitting there, it's like yeah, and the one guy who like loves the hot stuff, he's like, yeah, this is it. Yeah, I'm turned on.
His
I'm
chest
really
was
turned
turning
on
red.
now.
His chest was turning red, and his whole face was sweating. He's like,
Yeah, he's all like, "This is good," like that, and I'm just like, I don't know if
Where's
I could do
this?
level 6. I don't. It's
the
in
Try Guys.
California,
try
but
guys.
it's like I'll have to
that
try
at?
to find it. But they just
The Try Guys are YouTubers.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're YouTubers. They came from BuzzFeed, but they were like a little group that was created, and they did like the Try Guys do drag, Try Guys wear sexy lingerie, Try Guys do stepping. They do like random stuff, and so they moved away from BuzzFeed, and they have their own channel. So they do random things. There's like one of them is the rank king, so he does like all the sodas, and he ranks what's the best soda and what's the worst soda, Girl Scout cookies and zodiac signs.
That's
the
Thin
best
Mints.
soda.
That's Thin Mints.
He was kind of like I can't remember where it was.
Samoas. I gotta fight you with Samoas, man. I don't know.
I like
Thin
Mm.
Mints. Thin Mints. You
I
can
like
only
They're
get
good.
them.
I like
They
the
are.
one that's like
They
a Reese's peanut butter cup that has the cookie. That's the one that's my
I like that
favorite.
one too.
tag-alongs?
The tag along.
Mhm.
Tag along. Those are my
Yeah.
favorite.
They're not called
See,
that.
the
anymore.
great thing
They're just
about-
tag-alongs.
Yeah,
The
what are they
peanut
called
butter
now?
sandwich ones too.
Oh, peanut butter. Oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The great thing about like the Thin Mints is you can throw them in the freezer. You
Yep.
get them out, and you can have them with like your hot cup of coffee, and you just like mix it in with like the coffee.
Yeah, but that's kind of the nice thing about Girl Scout cookies is you can freeze all of them.
Yeah,
True.
Hell, they don't even get to the
but
freezer.
like the Thin Mints, I feel like are like the best one frozen because you get that nice crunch too.
Mhm.
The other ones that Thin Mints are amazing, but I
You know, they actually have gluten-free ones that are not. They're not the
Store-bought.
Girl Scout. They're the goody girls.
Yeah, I
Oh,
did.
yeah.
No, they have another brand too. Check out their Nature or something. I have them in the cupboard. I'll have
Nature's
to take a
Promise?
picture. No. There's something. They're in like a green and brown box. Like the bottom of it's green, the top is brown. It's on the gluten-free section. You'll see them,
Okay, I have to look.
and they look just like they taste exactly like Girl Scout cookies, but they're gluten-free. They have the peanut butter sandwich ones too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
JD and I found them like a year ago, and we've been like, when I don't bake, that's what we buy. But yeah,
Wait. When you don't bake, I
Yeah,
thought that's
when does
all
that
you ever
happen?
did.
I don't always, because like when I bake, I tend to bake like large quantities, and then stuff goes to waste because not everybody in this house is cookie hounds. You know, like they'll eat them for a couple of days and they'll be like, I think I'm all right with the cookies for a little bit, you know? So it's
Well,
just,
freeze them. You can freeze them.
yeah.
Or half batch. You could do a
Yeah.
half batch.
I tend to bake I tend to cook and bake like I'm cooking and baking for like 10 to 15 people at a time. Like
That was me
I
last night.
I
mean,
had
I
have
made
you
mac
ever-
and cheese with chicken and
Yeah.
broccoli and carrots and cauliflower. Yeah, it was enough to feed a family of 7.
Right. Like I had a hard time learning how to cook for like less than 5 people. You know, like when it was just the kids and I, when Marissa didn't even eat like a whole person when she was little. Elijah, you know, between Marissa and I, we ate like a whole person, and Elijah would eat like a whole person, you know, like an adult person. So it was like only cooking for a family of 2 people. And I had a really hard time figuring out how to like bring it down so I wasn't wasting food, because my grandma always cooked for a lot of people, and then growing up it was a family of 5, and I ate, as a teenager, I ate everything, like and a lot of everything, like whole pizzas at a time, stuff like that. So, you know, a couple of years ago it was just the 3 of us, and I had to learn how to back it down, and I have a hard time with it. I can't help it.
Sorry, I swear somebody just fell down the stairs.
It wasn't me.
I hope they're okay if someone did.
Are you sure?
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, but it's boom, 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 boom.
Are you sure it wasn't the cat?
It probably was.
Ooh.
Or that. There you
Or
go.
that. I had to mute it. She's going crazy over in the corner.
Yeah.
Well, I've actually had to
and-
like figure out that too with cooking, because I was so used to cooking and having enough for lunches.
Mhm.
But now that I don't need to pack a lunch, and I don't have,
Right.
I don't need to pack Jason a lunch. It's like, oh, I don't have to cook as much.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
no,
even though
same.
like we love leftovers, I mean, like we live on leftovers, but it was like we were getting to the point where I felt like we were almost wasting food
Right.
because we weren't eating and we weren't keeping up with it.
Right.
So I was like, oh, I don't have to cook as much. I have to cook little.
Which I feel like in this situation almost makes things harder because even though everybody's home, how are you managing, because you're trying to minimize the amount of time you're out and about doing things. So grocery shopping every day is probably not your best bet. So you want to make sure that when you do go, you get enough supplies for a week or days or whatever. So like, what exactly are you doing? How are you managing that? Because I feel like that's a hard thing to manage at this point.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
and that's my big thing is like when I'm cooking, I'm like, okay, what do I have? What can I make with what I have? So then I don't have to go out and get anything, or what can I substitute?
The magic
Yeah.
of cupboard cooking. That's what my aunt
Okay.
used to call it. Because she couldn't get out. She didn't have a driver's license. So she had to learn to cook what she had as she went through what she had, So it was like, this is all I have. This is what I'm making. And it was like,
Feel like
everything goes in a pot.
To me,
when I'm cooking, it's like an episode of Chopped. You open up that mystery basket,
Open
and
the
it's like,
basket.
I just was gonna say, it's
what
like,
do we have?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I
a
have
good chance to be
Cheetos. What
creative.
can I use Cheetos for? Oh, I'm gonna make some fried chicken.
Right.
I mean,
Oh,
seriously.
God, that sounds good. Oh man.
Oh, have you seen the new is it KFC, the fried chicken and like donut sandwich?
I don't.
Oh my god.
Oh no, I saw that. That's just a hard tack on a bun. Why?
Right.
Why,
I've done
America?
like the
Why?
Krispy Kremes with the salted patty
No.
in the middle of it, but that just sounds disgusting.
Mm-mm.
That doesn't sound very appetizing.
No.
That it's got to be like, I don't even want to know how many calories is in it. I look at that and I'm like,
Yeah, I don't think you
one
want to know.
bite.
I think that's your
One
more
bite
than
would
your
be
daily worth of calories in one.
It's probably a week's
sandwich.
worth
Yeah,
of,
exactly.
of daily calories.
Yeah, exactly.
So Anna asks, what's your favorite meal to cook?
Pasta, mac and cheese. There you go.
I actually make some pretty banging mac and cheese.
Nice. Like homemade
'Cause I
from
got
scratch kind of
yeah,
shit? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
My favorite's actually to make a steak dinner. Because Eric just sits there, nom, nom, nom. No.
I actually made this by accident. It's one of Jason's favorite things that I make. It's kind of like my version of the I take oh my god, I'm sorry, my brain just went.
It's okay.
I
do
do
it all the
turkey burger. I know. It's turkey burger. I cook and I use the taco seasoning, and then I cook the little pastas with cheese in it, the tortellinis. And then I put it all together with red sauce
Hamburger
with
soup?
white. It's like a hamburger helper, but with turkey.
Hmm.
And I use a white sauce, and I use tomato soup, and it actually came out like it's really good. Like it looks kind of it sounds very interesting, but it's good. It's one of Jason's favorite things.
That's cool.
I make a zuppa toscana like from Olive Garden, but I make it with I put in smoked Gouda cheese in it. So it's a little, it's really good.
You had me at cheese.
I make a really good chicken Tuscany.
Oh god, that sounds so good. Ooh.
Nice.
Eric loves that. He said, although I made too much this last time, he told me that I made entirely too much and that he got a little sick of it, but he said it's one of his favorites that I make. And he even eats the tomatoes, and he doesn't like tomatoes. So
That's really awesome.
yeah.
I also make a pretty good oh, sorry, go ahead, Laura.
That's okay. My favorite's probably goulash.
Ooh, very nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just hamburger and stuff. It's really, really good.
Yeah. Some noodles, some yummy. Yeah. I love goulash. Haven't had
Mine's
any
kind of like a goulash. We call mine a goulash, even though it's probably not technically a goulash, but it's
a tortellini.
it all goes into one pot.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, with the advent of the Instapot, I'm sold on that.
Oh,
I love my Instapot.
I
same.
still don't have one, Anna. I
too.
still don't have one.
What?
Oh no.
We actually don't have one either.
You know what? I would give up all of my my slow cookers
That's
for just
crazy.
one of the
Yeah.
Instapots.
Hold on. I don't really
Yep,
use a
me
slow
too.
cooker that much, though. Like, I don't.
I never
don't
did either
either.
until I found that, because you can saute in it, you can do sous vide, you can do all sorts of things with it. Like I even stopped cooking so much on the stovetop.
What about you,
that
Audrey?
was-
What do you like to cook? What's your favorite thing?
Tacos.
Tacos.
Always tacos. Love
I
tacos.
love making
I'm
tacos
coming to
too.
your
I'll
house
eat-
because you
I'll eat
probably
tacos.
make the real ones. You make good ones,
love
don't you?
tacos.
No, you
No,
don't.
I make tacos. I make tacos the way that I like to eat tacos. Although I do like real Mexican tacos, like
No, I love real.
pull chicken with cilantro and onions and green sauce. Like that's like my favorite, but I can't make that. I make my own like white person's version of like tacos, but I just love tacos. I'll eat like tacos any day, any form, all tacos, tacos. Like one of the things that I found that I didn't really like, my coworkers had introduced to me, it was I can't remember it, but essentially it's pork and pineapple juice, and it's like that stuff. I can't think of it right off the top of my head. It has a name, but that
Didn't
stuff
you tell
is
me
delicious.
that earlier? What it was?
Yeah.
What it was?
I can't, it's like al pastor or something like that. It sounds
El
something like
Pastor,
that.
yeah.
And it's just, oh yes, I love tacos. Like any form, any of that stuff. Tacos.
Me too. As
I
a
went
matter
to
of fact, that's a
California and got
staple in our house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I hardly ever get tacos. I went to California and I lived off of tacos for a week.
Yeah.
It was like
you'll get,
everywhere. I was like every taco truck. I'm like, mine.
yes, you'll get a lot of really great stuff. And it's in California. A lot of people, they hustle. They'll make chop up fresh fruit, and then they'll go and sell it down the street and things of that nature. Like when I go back to Panama, one of the big things that they do is they have the hot dog carts, and they just sell they're like thicker hot dogs, but they sell all that stuff with jalapenos and onions and all that stuff. They sell the corn with, I don't eat it. I don't eat that the way, but the corn with mayo on it, that's a Mexican thing. But
I forgot what they're called, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, but they'll sell that too. Like they go out there and they hustle and they work for their food. But yeah, tacos, 100%. All the
I went
way.
to Celebration Anaheim a couple years ago, and they pulled the taco trucks right into the convention center, and I'm like, Eric's like, "What do we want for lunch?" I'm like, "Tacos."
Yeah.
Tacos?
The trucks.
Yeah.
What do you want for dinner? Tacos.
Yeah.
Tacos.
I don't
good.
have a favorite thing to cook. I just like being in the kitchen. Like if it actually requires me to be in there and actually function in the kitchen, like not something quick, but like I actually, like when I make tacos, it's like I have 3 different types of meat, I have 2 different types of rice. Like I'm in there, I'm using all the burners, I'm getting down, like, because cooking to me is like that's one of my favorite things to do. I don't always like people to help me unless they know what they're doing too. Like, because I'm not good at like, I can give instruction, but I'm not real good. Like, I'm not gonna bark orders at people. And if I'm in a rhythm and I'm doing stuff, like I'm just moving, like I'm just moving through and getting things done. Like doing like turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes, like Thanksgiving dinner. That's one of my favorite things to cook because it's all time, Oh yeah, see, that's beautiful. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's
like
I keep
yeah.
it simple. You just add in and things of that nature.
food.
Sorry,
That's
just interrupting real quick.
Thank you, Tom. I was going to say that.
Yeah, that's good. Nice. I love
Missing some
avocado.
onion.
Yeah, I do agree. I do the green onion, and I was trying. Sorry, that's why I kept so quiet. Avocado, green onion, tomato. I used to make like a salsa, but then I was just like, no, I like certain bits of it and things of that nature. So you
like
just put it on there and whatnot from it.
Right, like doing your own kind of guacamole-ish type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I love, and that's like one of my favorite things too. Like fresh guac is like that. I can't
The
say like
best.
I'm not buying it in a jar. I'm not buying it in a container. Like if I can't have it fresh, I don't fucking want the shit. You can
It's
can
so
dump
easy
it in
to
the
make.
toilet.
It's
Yeah.
so easy to
All you do
make.
is mash vegetables
It's
together.
Yeah.
I have a funny story.
Go ahead.
It has nothing to do with me. It has with Melissa. So,
Go for it. Go for it.
she like me. So I'm half Mexican, but she's full Mexican. She's from Mexico, and so one time I forget who, I think it was, she went to a party. It's all like, yeah, you bring guacamole because then it'll be like legit, like guacamole and stuff. So like they gave her all the stuff, and all she was all like, I just literally just smashed the avocado and
Yeah.
put some lemon in it. It's
Uh-huh.
like, here you go. It's like, it's authentic Mexican
Right.
guacamole. It's
all
Mexican
made.
actually made it. So
You
it's
just
like,
scoop it out,
like,
put a
I
little salt, a little bit of lime.
so like
Yeah.
I didn't do
There
anything
you go.
special. Like,
Right
what do you
on.
mean, like the special Mexican way of guacamole?
Right,
So, like,
right.
it's just mashed up avocado. Just do it. Like, sorry, it just came to mind when you're talking about
No,
like
it's
fresh
fine. Right?
guacamole.
Well,
Hey,
that's
Sam,
because
we
most
gotta do
people-
tacos at your house sometime.
Yeah, please,
Yeah, exactly.
Because like that's when like I love just pulling all that together and like homemade fresh salsa too. Like I love doing that. I'd rather do that than freaking buy it in the jar also because I think
Mhm.
that it's just it's
You'll
so
get to get it off my porch by the time we're done this season because I've got jalapenos, I've got
sweet.
onions, I've got garlic, I got
Well,
it all.
Part of
and
the problem with all
cilantro.
that canned stuff is it's basically soup. Like it's not even like it's like
Yeah.
it's it's just I don't know. Like I just don't
Like
like
the-
it. It's too
The brand like
liquidy.
Holy
It's-
Guacamole. Have you tried that?
Yeah,
No, I don't.
It's like what
Okay.
you're what Chan's describing. It's like it's like a puree.
it's like a puree. It's like
It's it's almost on the liquidy side.
I'm
It's
not
not bad,
interested.
but
I'm not interested. Like that's just like buying jarred salsa and you dip a chip in it and you just get like tomato liquid
Soup.
out. Like that's
It's
it.
like-
It's not.
Yeah.
No, I want the chunks. I want like all the goods. I want everything. All
you want it to be
in there together.
creamy. You want it to like have substance. You
Right.
know,
Right.
to be like a dip, not
I'm gonna
like
see-
some liquid.
I feel
I'm
that
gonna
way
be-
about like tomato sauces too. Like Elijah
Yeah.
just made homemade sauce last week, and
it's
it's
gotta
like
be thick.
it's a totally different world when you're dealing with everything like fresh and homemade. That's just like homemade macaroni and cheese. Like the cheese sauce is completely different. It's a
Mm-hmm.
whole nother world whenever you're dealing with things being fresh as opposed to like canned and boxed stuff. Do you know that I did not know how to make a boxed meal until I was in like my late 20s? I would fuck it up every time.
That
Like
was
every
me. That was
every
me.
like anything like hamburger helper-ish or anything like that, I'd screw it up. I'd make boxed macaroni and cheese and it would be like macaroni soup. Like I would just because I just didn't I don't know. I just
doesn't make
couldn't-
sense.
I just couldn't do it right. But if I did it by myself, if I made it from scratch on my own, I was okay. Like it still took me a while to perfect it, figure it out, know what to do as far as like how to make pasta al dente and all that kind of shit. But like it took me time. My mom didn't cook, like she didn't. It was like frozen meals and dad was bringing home KFC. Like it wasn't it was like fish sticks and like boxed macaroni and cheese. That bitch knew how to do that shit. I have no fucking clue, like I didn't know. So it took me a while and I would watch like cooking shows. I would like study Emeril Lagasse and like,
Oh,
Uh,
the PIG Hog man. What was his name?
I don't know. I like watching PBS growing up and
Frugal
Julia-
Gourmet.
Yeah, that
Stan
guy-
Wilson.
yeah.
Dan Wilson.
Drew
remember
Stan
that guy.
Wilson with a little bit of wine.
No.
Wine.
A little wine in there.
And this is a PIG Hog.
Yeah, get that Cajun in there. Yeah, I love that guy. Oh my god. Do you remember Yan Can Cook?
Oh yeah,
Did
He's still on TV.
He's still on
man.
TV.
he has his own.
Yeah.
Still has his own show.
And see,
Yeah, it's
and
funny.
that's how I learned how to cook was like
Yeah.
watching that kind of shit and figuring it out. Like my mom could barely boil an egg. No offense, mom. I love you, but
My mom couldn't really cook either.
she had a hard time with it. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't her forte. She wasn't interested in it. My mom read books. She knew my mom could write books. Like that woman is talented when it comes to that kind of shit. Cooking just wasn't her deal. You know what I mean? She's a nerd. She doesn't care about that shit. She was busy in another world and that's fine. But I figured it out at least to the best of my ability. I'm still learning. how
Pretty
to do
darn good ability, I'll tell you.
no. There's always ways. You're always learning. You always got to be
True.
in a state of learning. That's
Mhm.
it's how we figure things out. Like if you think you know it all, then you're never gonna know anything else. And I'm always
Yeah.
willing to learn more. Like if anybody wants to share some shit with me, that would be fun during this whole process. Doing like some video online, like live, like what do you know how to do kind of shit. Like let's bake together, let's cook together, let's
Yeah.
I'm
let's
good
like
with that.
let's
Good try.
figure
I'll
out
just watch it.
let's do some of this. Let's do some
Mhm.
fucking artwork shit. Want to do a tutorial on how to draw some
Yeah.
shit, Ams?
We were just talking about
Ooh, hey, there you go. Once I
I-
get my commission done, yeah, sure.
I was just talking about makeup earlier.
yeah, like
Yeah.
Grims, that would be cool. I would love to
Grims,
learn
yeah.
how to
Oh
do
my
that.
god,
That's
yes.
what I was saying. Like I would like to do either an episode or something of that nature. Just the whole time, I would just be doing my makeup, like in
Do it.
between talking about other stuff. But I would be like, "This is what I'm doing and why I'm doing it," type situation.
I
should.
need that. Then do it.
Please do.
White blank face. I don't do makeup.
But kind of on a similar note, something that for the listeners that we have going on right now, listeners in the future or whatnot too, the whole March 31st, if we kind of want to do like a gathering of some nature, figure out a Google Hangout or whatnot. So I'm throwing it up on the screen.
Mm.
But those who are listening on March 31st online, they're doing a whole quarantine Oween. So essentially Halloween, participating in making a Halloween festivity on March 31st this year. Since we're all stuck in, let's all party together and have an online Halloween.
I think that would be
theme
fun.
thing.
I
So-
think
That would be fun.
I think that week we should do the show in costume.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have to get real creative about that.
Yeah, okay.
Fun. That'll be super fun. And the other thing is like we don't have to do this. I mean, if we're all like some of us are scattered with like work time framings and stuff like that, like we could even just pop in
Mhm.
and throw something in during the week, during the day, anything like that. I
Mhm.
mean, I
Do
think
a
that's
live broadcast.
I mean,
Yeah.
even we don't even have to do that if we can't, you know,
Sure.
like even if you just want to record yourself doing some stuff and then post it, you know, like let's talk about that. That would be fun too. I think we
Mhm.
should all just kind of
We
like
should do that.
participate in how to be busy during all of this, you know,
Exactly. Having some fun.
but no
Yeah.
shower time, people. Like, let's just keep that private.
This is how you wash your body.
Hang on.
Things
Oh my
on.
god.
This is how you wash your
We should do that for
hands.
convention.
Actually, there you go. You could do a little extra.
Explain the process of cleaning our bodies for convention people.
Oh
Yeah.
God,
This is called deodorant.
hygiene.
One, two,
Sorry,
three,
sorry,
four,
my-
done.
My bingo arms.
Before we leave the topic of hygiene and all that type of stuff, I wanted to give kind of a shout out to someone who used to be, who's a ex-coworker of mine, but he, with a 3D printer, if there's apparently like a pattern out where they can do masks, and essentially they're able to make them and then donate them. And all it is it takes one of those standard masks and they cut it up to 4 pieces. So that little square that's like in the center, that's the only piece that's used. So you can essentially create longevity for a lot of the stuff. So people are getting pretty creative and trying to help out.
They are.
I know
That's really good.
Casper has been making, as she talked before, fabric masks and things of that nature. So there's a lot that we could still even
Yeah.
do in quarantine, help out, donate to these causes, try to help overall because it helps all of us.
Absolutely. And if anybody knows of
Mhm.
any like home remedy stuff that can help with some of this, I think that that's a good thing to pass around too. Something that not everybody has like information about.
Mhm.
I think that whatever information we have, we should be sharing right now, you know,
Mhm.
as much as we
Yeah.
possibly can.
Yeah. I rely on essential oils a lot.
Yeah. Like what?
Well, for pain, a lot of it is peppermint oil.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Works really good, especially for like migraines and stuff. Put it on your temples, and I've done doTERRA and stuff like that. So On Guard has if you
Mm-hmm.
put that in a diffuser, that helps kill viruses in the air.
Nice.
Another one that I heard that people found out back years and years ago, back I guess when the plague was, if you cut an onion in half and leave it on your counter,
Mhm.
it actually absorbs all the bacteria and viruses and stuff. And that's people that did that actually didn't get sick with the plague.
Nice.
So
I
but
know.
you
I
don't
know.
eat that onion.
Right.
Do not eat that onion, because if you ever been to a cookout and stuff and you feel like you ate something bad it's most likely the onion that went bad than rather than the mayonnaise or something like that, because the onion actually soaks up all that bacteria that's in the air.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we're all going to be like wearing onions and stuff.
Could be like
I
You don't
Shrek.
have to worry about vampires.
to kind of
No, never mind. That's garlic.
Oh, really? So you do onion.
garlic and onion. Yeah.
Aren't garlic and onion both the nightshade family?
I think
Are
so.
they?
Yeah.
Yeah, French onion soup tends to be the thing that I'll like to eat. That or just eat onions, just put it on everything. Onions,
I do
onions,
that
red
anyway.
onions,
Onions.
yellow onions, white
My
onions,
poor
sweet
patient.
onions, whatever.
Hi, how are you?
If I'm sick, I want to get better. I don't care if you think I have bad
Yeah.
breath. You could just give me a breath mint. That's fine.
I throw
Right.
oregano and marjoram in almost everything I cook because they're known to be very high in antioxidants too.
Yeah.
Like marjoram's one of the highest as far as herbs go in antioxidants. You know, like everybody knows blueberries, but like that's an herb that most people don't think about.
And there's doTERRA actually has the marjoram and the oregano in essential oils,
Mhm.
so you can actually diffuse those into the air too.
That's pretty cool.
You
That's
can
great.
use them to cook with too.
I know more about like I know more about like actual herbs than I do like essential oils and shit because my grandparents delved into that as far as a part of their life. They grew herb gardens. They knew a lot about that
I
kind
want
of
to know more about
stuff.
that.
So I have a lot of that knowledge. I'm more than willing to share. You know, like eucalyptus is a huge one. Most people don't think about like getting it fresh, putting it in your house, drying it. It'll help
Mhm.
like open up your airways. I buy eucalyptus
Oh my
oil.
God.
You can get teas. That's also really good for you as far as like opening up airways with eucalyptus and catnip. I know you brought it up earlier, but
Great
catnip is, as far as dried and used in tea, is a natural muscle relaxer.
It
Most
is.
people don't know it's a pain reliever and muscle relaxer. So that's something that's not commonly known. It has like the reverse on humans as it does on cats. So it's not the worst thing in the world to have in your cupboard, even if you don't have cats.
Yeah, like you can make a tea out of that and peppermint, which
Mhm.
they're in the same family. So that's why they relax muscles and they reduce pain.
Right. And the peppermint helps open up airways as well. It's really, really good for the respiratory system.
And for the
I'm
stomach.
learning all kinds of shit today. Hey,
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
And if you put lemon in that lemon will actually clean germs out of your throat and your esophagus. So that's also another good thing to have in house is fresh lemons. Lemon juice in the little squeezy lemon doesn't work the same way, but you know,
And apple cider vinegar.
apple cider vinegar
Apple
also.
cider vinegar.
But you have to use it warm. Just like I know it sounds really weird, but like Listerine warm will also help get rid of any germs that's in the throat
Bacteria.
as well. Because
Well, what's nice about the apple cider vinegar, it helps break up mucus.
that too, yeah.
If you take apple cider vinegar and honey,
Mhm.
it helps sweeten it, but it helps it can help you lose weight.
Well, that too, but like apple cider vinegar in general is great to rebalance like the pH balance of like your skin, your inside your body. Like my aunt had real bad issues with dry scalp. She used apple cider vinegar rinse in her hair, and it cleared it up within days because it's one of those like almost ultimate things you should just have. In
It
your
also
home.
removes all the extra products and stuff that you use on your hair.
Yeah.
It actually removes all that.
God, that smell. Like sometimes you just can't get past that smell.
Oh, or the taste sometimes. Ooh.
Right.
And the
Drink
vinegar
that first
fan.
thing in the morning. You're like,
My aunt, like if my stomach was bothering me, other than using something like calamus root, which can be really hard to get your hands on, she would give me like a shot glass with apple cider vinegar in it. And she'd be like, go ahead. And you look at like my stomach's upset and you want me to do that.
drink that, but it works.
But it does. Yeah, it does.
You have to have the one with the mother in, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Actually, that's good to mention because I am an asthmatic. So yeah, I do have to be really careful during this time. I actually did read an article, not trying to fearmonger, but there was a woman in the UK. She was either 21 or 27, but she died due to COVID-19. She had asthma. She had mild asthma. And that's exactly what I have. And I'm just like, I have to be really careful. So does my husband.
So do I.
So yeah, I just have
what
to,
they said.
The thing is that because of the COVID-19, it actually blocks some of the passages in your lungs. It like
Builds up
it really,
mucus.
yeah, it builds up the mucus, and with asthmatics, you're so much more prone to that anyway.
Yeah,
So
last time I got
it just
sick.
clamps down.
Yeah, last time I got sick, I actually did have to go to the doctor and get a nebulizer. It reduced my peak flow to like 20%. It was that bad.
So
Yeah.
hot black coffee will help open up your airways. As an asthmatic, that is something that you need to remember.
I drink that when I start feeling kind of
Yeah.
Oh no, I have to drink coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee.
But it
Hey, and also,
if you feel that like you can't breathe though, like that will definitely like poof, like the caffeine and the heat will open up your airways. So keep that in mind, Ams. That's something for you to remember.
Definitely.
it will flush you out too.
Mhm.
Ah,
Yeah. Right.
And
Clean me out both ways. There you go.
the other thing that you can do is get in the shower and drip eucalyptus oil into the hot water, or if you put like a washcloth down, drip it onto a hot washcloth and let it steam, and it actually helps opens your past lung.
Jason has to do that a lot of times.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have
Mint tea, hot mint tea.
Yeah, I'll walk into the bathroom and be like hit in the face with steam, and all it smells like is the eucalyptus.
It's a nice smell though. I do like it. We have
It
some at
is.
home. Yeah. We still have a mouse problem, so they don't like the strong smells. So we just like put a little bit in our carpet, and it works. And it just smells like mint and eucalyptus. I'm like, it smells nice.
Yeah. Definitely. Good.
So yeah.
So we've actually hit the time. So we have to sign off. But before we go, as always, you can find us at Total Package Podcast on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, as hopefully you're watching us, or if not, listening to us on your favorite listening platform. And also don't forget that any hole is a goal.
Oh my God. I'm making that into a design. I am, man.
Any ladies have anything they want to say?
Social distance. Wash your hands. Be safe.
Wash your
Don't
hands.
touch your face when you're outside. Don't touch your face.
If ducks can do social distancing, so can we.
Yeah.
Don't forget to reach out to anybody. Don't be alone. Don't be alone.
Yeah.
We're all here for anyone.
Lean on your communities. Really help each other out.
We have a shout out to everybody that is supporting us and listening to us.
Yeah.
So thank you all for all of your help.
Yes. And thank you, Anna, for keeping an eye on the chat tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anna.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.